In Predator vs. Wolverine present day, a battered Wolverine is being hunted by Predator, but this isn't their first encounter. Back in 1900, Logan lived a solitary life. He rarely ventured into town except for essential supplies. On one such visit, a stranger kindly offers to buy him a drink. Suddenly, two men approach looking for trouble. Logan quickly disarms them and begins to leave. The stranger follows, urgently asking for his assistance. Reluctantly, Logan agrees. As they approach a remote cabin, they discover several flayed animals and humans hanging from trees. Logan bursts into the cabin, unleashing his claws, when unexpectedly he's shot in the back by the very man who sought his help. It turns out the stranger was involved in a robbery, and those men had double-crossed him. As the stranger attempts to leave, his head is blasted clean off by the Predator. Now healed and consumed by rage, Wolverine attacks the Predator. Logan's bone claws are then broken. As Logan tries to escape, the Predator relentlessly pursues. Just as they are about to face off again, a bear attacks the Predator and drags him into a cave. However, this wasn't the last time Logan would encounter the Predators. During his time with Team X, they found themselves ambushed by a team of Predators. Team X is a covert ops unit sent to South America to stop a coup. Like everyone else on Team X, Logan's memories are regularly erased, so he can't recall his previous encounter with the Predator. However, Logan has held onto the smart disc weapon all these years, like a scar, a relic of pain that he somehow understood the two of them shared. Wolverine then hurls the disc at the Predators and urges his team to fall back. Sabretooth refuses and just starts mowing down the jungle. Meanwhile, one of the Yautja sneaks up and impales Victor with a smart spear. Creed swiftly counters, impaling the Predator with the same spear. As Sabretooth falls, the rest of the team rushes to cover, taking refuge inside a temple. It turns out some of the soldiers they were ordered to eliminate are also inside this temple. The general tells Logan that he knows why they are here, but they are not enemies, as long as those creatures are alive. Logan agrees to cooperate, but insists on doing it his way. The Yautja then launch an attack, but Logan and Maverick slip away, leaving behind the smart disc rigged with explosives. We then jump to the Weapon X facility for Wolverine's next encounter with the Predators. Wolverine's recollection of his time with Weapon X is hazy, as both his body and mind were not entirely his own. The Yautja found him at his most vulnerable, yet dangerous state. As the Predator approaches an unconscious Wolverine, their story takes on a whole new meaning. Upon uncovering Wolverine's adamantium skeleton, Logan becomes his ultimate trophy. Wolverine awakens and immediately stabs the Predator in the chest. The Predator then quickly pours acid into Logan's mouth, causing his face to completely melt off. The Predator then boards his ship with his trophy and drops Logan's body near his vast collection of skulls, including that of a rancor. Suddenly, military jets begin firing on the ship, but the Yautja takes off, heading straight to the moon. Meanwhile, Logan's healing factor kicks in and he goes full berserker rage mode on the ship's walls, finding himself at the edge of space. Logan's skeletal remains are recovered upon his descent to Earth, along with the Yautja's helmet. At the Weapon X facility, they reverse engineer the helmet's tech to create the infamous headgear worn by Wolverine. Later, in Japan, Logan trains with the madman swordsmith Muramasa. However, their session is interrupted by the Predator, determined to reclaim his trophy. As Wolverine and the Predator face off, Logan asks Muramasa to help, but the swordsmith explains this isn't his fight, and helping him would be equal to completing a child's schoolwork for them. Muramasa tells Logan that whoever loses this battle, he will forge their soul into his next blade. Wolverine notices the Predator's helmet was crafted from a bear's skull, and memories of their initial encounter flood back. He remembers how the Grizzly helped him in his fight with the young Yautja. As the skirmish escalates, the Predator resorts to using his plasma cannon, blasting Wolverine's sword from his hands. Frustration builds within Wolverine, and he unsheathes his claws against his teacher's wishes. The Predator then activates his cloaking device and seemingly withdraws from the fight. However, the Predator isn't leaving because of Logan's claws. The Hand has shown up out of nowhere and now surrounds Wolverine and Muramasa. We then jump to the last time they meet in the past, this time at Xavier's school for gifted youngsters. While everyone else at Xavier's school is eating dinner, Wolverine is making his rounds. Charles tries to convince Logan to relax and join them when suddenly 3 dots appear on his forehead. Wolverine quickly tackles Chuck to avoid the imminent attack. The Predator then launches several missiles at them, blasting the school. Wolverine tells Colossus to grab Charles as he rushes upstairs to help evacuate the kids. While he's checking on Kitty, the Predator incapacitates Logan. Nightcrawler quickly intervenes and teleports Wolverine to safety. Wolverine then tells everyone to stay out of this. He doesn't want their help. As he starts to head back upstairs, he hears Rogue calling out to him. The Predator is holding Rogue hostage. She tells Logan that she can take off her glove and touch him, but instead he sacrifices himself, urging the Predator to take him and not harm anyone else. The Predator then drops some handcuffs for Wolverine. As the Predator escorts Wolverine to his ship, the real Logan ambushes him. It turns out the Predator actually had Mirage in his custody. Kurt then vamps into the fight along with Kitty Pryde, and the two execute a well-coordinated sneak attack. The Predator then cloaks himself and retreats. We now jump to the present day. Logan, piecing together his past, revisits the ruins of the Weapon X lab. There, he finds the Yautja's helmet. He knows the Predator will come for it, but this time, he will set the terms of their engagement. He stakes the helmet in the meadow to set an obvious trap. When the Yautja arrives, Logan ambushes him, but allows him to land the first blow, drawing him in. Once he got his helmet back, he thought he'd already won. Wolverine hides just long enough for his healing factor to kick in before making his his move. Rocks tumble, alerting the Predator, and he blasts Logan off the cliff. Wolverine falls into the river and is trapped under a boulder. The Predator presses his attack, but Logan cuts himself to bloody the water and escapes. He knows the Yautja's helmet registers heat vision, so he uses mud as a natural cloaking device. However, the Predator sees an eye peering out of the mud and stabs it, but Logan plucked his eye out to lay another trap and attacks from above. The Predator quickly shocks him, knocking Logan back. He then pulls out his ceremonial dagger and the two collide. With no other way to win, the Yautja activates his self-destruct device and destroys them both. Days pass and Logan emerges from the rubble with a feeling of emptiness inside and the Predator's dagger in his hand.